Hey guys, back in the car today. I just want to talk a little bit about large caps. They're next. And I know, right now looking at the market, it doesn't look great. Guys, it's crypto. We do this shit, right? We get excited when it comes up, and as a general, we tend to cry, scream, and kick, wonder what the hell's happened and goes down. Volatility is how we make a lot of money, by the way, right? Because you can hodl, you can trade, swing, leverage, etc. There's always ways to make money, but not the point of this video. What I want to talk about today is a little bit about the Feds gave the green light, large caps are next, right? We know the general cycle of the path to altcoin season, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, large caps, moderate, the way down. And I don't think we're done with Ethereum. Not at all. You're not going to convince me that it beating the all-time high by like $200 is the best it's going to do this cycle. So I think we're still currently in the Ethereum phase. We're just going through a correction. If you weren't sure what was going on and wonder why almost everyone's crypto are down, there are a couple that are green for sure. But we can nitpick of all these different reasons. But a big one was I forget the exact number. It was either hundreds of millions or billions, regardless. A large fucking amount of cash was liquidated from Bitcoin longs, which got the price to decrease rapidly. And then people see it and panic. So what do? They sell because they think now crypto is going to zero. So more red happens. And then we panic and some people sell and it goes down. And then we start finding the people, maybe that's some of you guys, it's a little bit of me right now, of crypto get to a price, we're like, do it, it's a great effing time to buy. And then we stabilize and we just go back up. And we just end up with higher lows that lead to higher highs. And we're just in a retracement right now. But large caps are going to come soon. Again, I think Ethereum's got a little bit more to go. But I said that the Fed, I think I said was the Fed, but government, whatever, gave us the green light, told us large caps are next. Do you know how they told us? The SEC just made it shortcutted to get ETFs. That is big. There's a little bit of nuance in there too. You might have heard this from other people, but I'm going to give you my take on it and more so what I'm doing about it. I'll give you the short version of what I'm doing about it. Right now, jack shit. I'm just sitting on cash and waiting to see if things go down more. Because statistically speaking, weekends are usually red. Right now I'm recording this on Thursday. And we had red overall Tuesday, Wednesday. So far it's red on Thursday. It is likely going to be red through the weekend then. And I'm not saying it's going to go further down. Some certainly will. But I don't really suspect it's going to start going back up. So I'm going to save a little bit of cash, buy Saturday night into Sunday. And what am I going to buy? I'm going to DCA things that I already own and large caps, because they're coming next. Why do I keep saying that? With the ETFs, which coins get ETFs? They're not the small little guys, right? You're not going to see some $250 million market cap coin get an ETF. We probably eventually will. And I understand there's talk about it, but they're not getting them yet. All right? We're talking about the 10 billion plus for the most part, our large caps. Right? And once it starts getting okay and these ETFs start coming through, people are going to be buying. Wall Street is going to be buying. Your standard boomer investor that doesn't want to deal with crypto because they don't understand it is still going to be buying it whether they know it or not through these ETFs. And so there's some big news with the SEC, and I just want to briefly touch about how this is going to make a big difference. I don't care that's not right now. Wait a month. It's going to be great. So the SEC just in the last Fed meeting pretty much has made, there's now generic standards that you just need to get through, and you can get an ETF passed much freaking quicker. How much quicker? Goes from about an average of 240 days down to weeks. They're saying roughly 20 or so days to streamline it. That's huge. That means by the time that someone announces they apply for an ETF, by the end of the month, it's going to be out. And that's great because when the news hits, people can buy, and then before we totally forget about it, the floodgates open and money comes in. That's pretty cool. So now you don't have to fill out that 19B form, sit on the SEC desk and wait. As long as it hits one of three criteria, we can streamline it. And there's better news coming out with index funds. I'll get there next. But three criteria. One of them, I actually think is going to be the second one, is going to hit much more commonly. So let me look at this quick. This way I can get the wording right for you. So one, anything that's considered intermarket surveillance. Okay, so what does this mean? It's asset trades on the market that is a member of or participates in an intermarket surveillance group, ISG, and there are surveillance sharing agreements in place between the exchange and the venue. So what this means is that large exchanges like the NASDAQ, for example, if there's crypto that are on there already, they can get pushed through. Okay, that's not the biggest deal yet. However, in the US with listing exchanges like the NASDAQ, they do sometimes cite data sharing agreements with Coinbase or Gemini. So some of the large caps on Coinbase or Gemini might get to hit this. It's most likely going to be ones that already have ETFs out. You know, Bitcoin, Ethereum. I was hoping this would streamline Solana. Doesn't look like it. But this is probably not the biggest one for now. This could be a bigger deal if we have other companies that end up making their own crypto. Like if Google makes their own crypto, they can streamline that into an ETF right away. So, okay, not the biggest deal on impact for us. The futures-based route, this is going to get a lot of our large caps to go through pretty quickly. So in short, if there's been a crypto that has been on a futures board for at least 6 months, you know, showing that it's mature with the regulated market, and there's been derivatives that have existed for that commodity, they can push it straight through. And again, I think this is going to be most of our crypto because there's a lot of large caps, and this is where some of the moderates might even get it come in, that have been on futures trading for well over 6 months. And these can get shorted. Awesome. Straight through. This could end up happening pretty well to a lot of the moderate caps. We might see like HBAR, Ondo. I think those are very likely ones. XLM, Algo. We could make this whole list. Really, a lot of them that's in the top 100 could get fit through this. Now it's just people willing to set up an ETF, but this is going to bring them in. This could jumpstart ones like Avalanche, which God knows Avalanche could use some freaking price action going on right now. All right, so cool stuff. The third way that they can go a jump route or short the SEC table to get in is if there's already an ETF based on it. All right, so as soon as the first Solana ETF gets passed, which is probably going to happen October 10th or 20th, always get that mixed up or I forget. Other Solana ETFs can enter the fast track as long as they hit the legal requirements to call it an ETF. But cool, we can get more and more of them out. So we're going to see a lot more large caps get marketed and advertised and pushed to everybody through ETFs. Again, this is going to be a big deal. This whole cycle so far, which has been kind of daunting, I understand. It's been much more of a trader's market this cycle, I believe, which is why I've been getting more into it. But it's been very industrial. ETFs have been a big narrative for it. So ultimately, they're going to make this a lot easier to happen. More so, there was an automatic pass that went through on the 17th at the same time too. And I feel like this has been downplayed. I don't feel like enough people have talked about this one. Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund, which has an acronym, which I'm not going to try to figure that one out right now, got automatically passed. And what that is on the 17th, they said that this, let's call it a trust. It's not a mutual fund or an ETF, it's a trust. And it's a group of currently Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, and Cardano. And that was automatically put through as a trust that you can put some money into and start buying into it, like an index fund, right? So that was cool that got automatically swept through. Now there's a precedent though, and this is the part I guess I get a little excited about, is that there's things like the Coinbase 50. Right, where it's the top 50 market cap coins on Coinbase. You can actually buy it on the Base app or just put money in. And I don't remember the ratios. It was like 40% Bitcoin and it goes a little percentage down the chain based off of the market cap. But things like that can get pushed through. And there's a lot of these small little, we'll call them index funds or groupings of crypto, mostly large cap. And that's going to be streamlined as well. So we can start seeing like an RWA fund. Boom. Maybe that's going to have Ondo, HBAR, XRP, XLM. Cool, right? Or maybe a gaming index fund, right? Or a meme fund. That one's going to be ridiculous. But it's just cool that they got that through so quickly and easily. Said, nope, it's passed, it's in. People can start putting money into it. And again, these are mostly going to be large caps. So we're building that up. The whole thing is, when does altcoin season happen? We'll find out, but it's when people get confident enough that prices are going up and that they've made money and profits from Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the large caps. Have extra money to throw down and in. And it'll probably burst by narratives. Like we'll have a meme narrative, we'll have an RWA narrative, we'll have all these little groupings. But I fully believe it's coming. I have been getting impatient, so I've been doing more trading, and I'm going to start posting a little bit more videos about it. So if you guys followed me on my turbo trade, it did not get stomped out. I put it in right before this, we'll call it a dip, happened. It's close. I might get stomped out on this one. And if I do, I'm just going to set another order because I don't think turbo is going to go much lower than it already is. My Solana leverage trade is still looking good. It came down a little bit, but I'm not worried about that one as a long. So there's always ways to make money, even if it takes longer than you want it to. Now is a great buying opportunity if you have the excess funds. I'm looking at DCAing, like I said, into Saturday or Sunday. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to buy. I don't think I'm opening a new position. I think I'm just going to DCA in. But if I do open a new one, I'll let you guys know for sure. So what do you guys think about what the SEC is doing? Are you excited for the next Fed meeting? How's that for a strange question? We're expecting another rate cut, probably 2 more this year. And we'll see how things go. If it's even exciting, if people even care by the second or third one. I'm not sure. But let me know what you guys think. I'm going to be scooping up more of the large caps, most likely with my DCA. And if I start a new position, it's probably going to be Avalanche. I know it's a little higher than it was before, but I'm starting to see, I want to get in before it actually gets priced at what I think it's worth. So let me know if you guys are buying, selling, trading, hodling. What are you guys doing? I will have another video sometime very soon in a more formal setting than Wonderful German Engineering. But I'll talk to you guys all in a bit. Peace.